Hello and welcome to the River Shaman Ramblings podcast, and welcome to my noisy ass office because my computer has decided that the fan needs to run on loud and I can't get it not to run on loud. And then there's the heater at my feet because once again I'm cold. Today I'm going to be talking more about the tale of the ham sandwich, actually. I'm calling this ham sandwich post-mortem, or perhaps it's the moldy ham sandwich because it's been in the refrigerator for a while. Minnie Cats will be joining me. Right now she's out getting something. And that gives me a chance to do some opening comments. For example, the joy of calling my husband, his cell phone picking up, his mailbox being full, his inbox, and yet he complains that I never check mine either. So Minnie Cats is here with her wit as we discuss the moldy ham sandwich.
Yeah. He was husky and covered in mold.
The things we're going to talk about here are dancing in a fairy ring, which in the old ways is also known as dancing with the fairies. So there's that, which can come about in different forms. I have seen many different interpretations of it. Having lived it, I can say it's probably more closer to what I went through. It's just mankind's memory, and well, there's got to be an explanation for this. So therefore, this we need to discuss dancing with the fairies. You were supposed to be doing some research on that. Then we need to discuss actually what it looks like when the gods answer your plea in front of you when you're at level 0. And we're going to see if we can do this under an hour or two.
You're funny.
I'm funny. I know I'm funny.
So anyway, there's fey circles.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Like the mushrooms?
The mushrooms, but it also, fey circles, ancient myth, and scientific truth behind mysterious mushroom rings.
Well, I know how mushroom rings are born. That's whenever the mushroom explodes and the seeds, the spores go out in a circle around the original mushroom. So you get a mushroom ring. That is a scientific thing with the mushroom ring. But I'll tell you, because that means that my ties with the mushroom rings goes back very far to when I was a tender 14. A lot of stuff happened when I was around that age. And there was a mushroom ring in this person's front driveway, actually. And we're driving by it, me and my father. And I said, I'm going to go dance in that ring. He said, oh, no, hell no, you're not. And then later, when I was, I think, in my 20s, I came across a mushroom ring. So I jumped in it. Nothing happened. I was so disappointed. Or did nothing happen? Because then later, I ended up in a fairy dance. And that's where we're going to go. Fairy lore has a lot of things that has been washed down and wiped. We have a lot of misconceptions. We have a lot of interpretations, and different cultures have different takes on the matter. The way I was always given to understand, and this was thanks to C.J. Cherry, actually, in one of her books, that to dance with the fairies is to basically go in a coma. I mean, that's what I always thought it was. Because the popular information put out about stroke was that it was elf shot. That they would shoot you with yarrow or mistletoe, and it would cause a stroke. You've been stricken, see. So that was elf shot. And then the fairy ring was going into a coma. Which is why when the Pope passed, just as I was leaving my hero's journey, like literally the day after, he had a stroke and went to a coma.
Coincidences.
It was a very scary and weird coincidence. It took me at least a day to process that weirdness had happened to me. This is the popular folk modern perception, and that could be because of media. It could be because we just, as Americans, this is how we view the supernatural. Did you find anything on that? What the old myths say?
Celtic origins and belief.
Where's this at?
This is a website called Knights Templar.
Oh, you're at the Knights Templar.
So, dancing with fairies create magical rings during midnight revelries. Supernatural beings conduct mystical ceremonies under moonlight. Mortal risk supernatural encounters if they step inside the ring. English traditions warn of forced endless dancing.
There you go. There it is. Forced endless dancing. That's what I was getting at. As a matter of fact, I was so wrapped up in the forced endless dancing thing. Remember, I did that sculpture.
Yeah, culture, English, primary belief, fairy dancing grounds, associated risk, forced dancing until exhaustion.
Only exhaustion? I always thought it was until you died.
You can't say that on the internet anymore.
Oh, okay, unalived.
But
although, you know what? We should say it. We should say died, dead, doom, doom, doom. Why? Because that's policing our speech.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, until exhaustion, it's like you pretty much die from the exhaustion. Not from the dancing, from the exhaustion caused by the dancing.
Oh, there's also that old fairy tale about the dancing slippers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now how did it go? It was,
Well, there was the tale of like the 7 or 9 princesses.
No. This was one girl. She was given a pair of slippers and she couldn't stop dancing.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. I have to say that through my journey and even now up until today with the minor things that's happening now that things are at normal level trials and tribulations, fairy tales and myths keep coming up. So that I'm planning a series of examining each one to explain how that fairy tale and myth actually preserves shamanic and supernatural lore for us to know what to do and how to handle it. Now, we can't say that the people who passed the fairy tales down for the Grimm brothers to record were, the original bards and the storytellers hadn't just made them up on experience and things that they already knew. Even so, it did record a lot. For example, the Rumpelstiltskin moment, which I have mentioned before. The red shoes. Look up the red shoes. It's but this is a Hans Christian Andersen story, so it's not an actual. I mean, they're considered folklore now, but he wrote it, so we have an author. So never mind. That story's out. As a matter of fact, the story came from 1845.
Mm-hmm.
New Fairy Tales, first volume, third collection. So, although that's lovely and charming, we don't know how much of lore he was pulling, so I don't want to go there with that. Oh my. That was real.
Huh?
There apparently was a dancing plague.
Oh, I've heard.
Yeah, there was that silly video the other day on Facebook. But yeah, there was the dancing plague. It happened in Strasbourg, 1518. They uncontrollably danced for days. The fairies were having fun that day. Sometimes some of them died.
Mm-hmm.
They said it was a curse from the saints and demonic possession and mass hysteria. But after what I've been through and what I know what the dancing is actually for now, I'm thinking the fairies had a feast nearby. So I'm going to go through what happened to me now and actually examine it. But before I go into it again, there are 3 fairy tales that actually touch on things I experienced. There is the 12 Dancing Princesses, which you're stuck on because you went and fixated on something.
Because I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah, she's fixated. She's latching herself with the chain to the story. And that story, how's that fairy tale go? These princesses wear their slippers out because they can't stop dancing. No, they'll go and dance every night and
until their shoes.
It's a boot story. It's a boot story.
Yeah, and the king was losing a lot of money because dancing shoes are expensive, and he has 12 daughters.
Well, that's what he gets for not keeping it in his pants.
He was hoping for a son.
I'll bet he was. He got one. He got Boots of all people. And if you don't know who Boots is,
he eventually got a son-in-law, which he was very grateful for.
At first. By Boots, I mean the trickster archetype. And there is a popular theory out there that Boots, who is known as Askeladden in Scandinavia, is the folklore memory of Loki. It's an interesting theory that I am looking at, and possibly, I'm still mostly on the fence, but I'm partially convinced, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. The evidence is very compelling, but I don't know if the 12 Dancing Princesses is a Boots story. What I mean is the trickster gets involved, is what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't even know where it's from. There's also, I'm going to totally mangle this Welsh. Twilwaith Tweggy. A wagoner goes into a fairy ring and disappears.
As they do.
As they do. Your entire wagon, curses on your cow, curses on your wagon. And then there is Scottish folklore, where a man joins a fairy dance up on a hill and it disappears for a year and a day. Mm-hmm. Now, how long was a year for me when I was dancing with the fairies? For them. A year for them was an hour to a day for me. Mm-hmm. So there's parallels there. So I've already told the story of the dancing fairy ring. To rehash really quickly, apparently, because I just got told to by my spirit. And he's rarely wrong. So he's never wrong. I am so sorry. He's never wrong. The fairy comes dancing up to me wearing nothing but gems and a smile. A big smile.
With a shimmer in his step.
Oh my God. It was like Disney wished they could get their people to smile that big. It was a big smile. And I got caught up in his dance. But at the time, I had a soul split. So he took her off and captured her and made her his bride. Shenanigans and abuse ensues. Mm-hmm. I could not stop dancing. I was easily dancing 4 to 6 to 8 hours a day. Mm-hmm. You know, I would sit down, do something a little bit, take care of something a little bit, and then go right back up and dance again. Although the benefit, the pant sizes that went away, it did kind of ruin dance for me a little bit. But I would go there, handle something, talk to her, do something over there, step back here, handle something for, say, an hour, and over there a year would have passed. Mm-hmm. And it was consistent, so that I was watching years pass by on the fairylands, mm-hmm. the garden layer. Finally, at the end, thanks to a friend with a tulpa, I managed to get out of it and carry her away, and she went to this other part in the garden layer, and sadly, then she started, I guess, bucking against me. I guess you could say we stopped agreeing. She started getting like, mm-hmm. I don't know what the word is, condescending. And I guess for her, it had been a very long time, and I was still very young to her, even though I'm like not young in human years. So she matured and wisened up and responsibilityed up. And in the end, I cut ties with her because I was told it was time to cut ties completely and cut myself in half. Bled all over the stairwell over there. Like, all this energy came out of me. It looked like stars. And that's why I wrote Bleeding Stars. That was the final trick to get it to where he had her completely, by the way. He still had her. Ah. She was not a soul split so much as she was a piece of soul that he had stolen, it turns out. After I finally escaped the entire mess, with the Rumpelstiltskin moment, I was put right back down to level 0. I'm going to stop at level 0. We're going to go back to the fairy dancing. So when you're in the fairy ring, you're actually in the fairy ring. You are in an endless cycle, hence a fairy ring. Mm-hmm. You get up, you're compelled to dance, you go and you dance, you get annoyed with somebody who walks into the office and you're dancing.
Happened many times. Yeah. I was like I was compelled to come over and annoy
you
her.
Were?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was fucking annoying. I wanted to be left alone to die. You know, I was being killed and you were being compelled to come over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
But I was caught in the glamour and I didn't see it as being killed. I saw it as I was helping this person and dealing with this situation, and mm-hmm. and you wanted to talk about your love life, and I didn't want to talk about your love life.
And then my love life left me, and I was sad.
She was very sad.
Very sad.
Very sad. Boo-hooings. So many boo-hooings.
Yes, and it's like life has no color anymore, and so, yeah, I need company, but you refuse to be miserable with me.
Because I was miserable in my own damn way.
So, and
the thing about being miserable over heartbreak over what I was going through is I was in danger. I didn't completely understand that. She had no clue. I was like literally dancing my life away. With every dance and every time I went to the fairyland and everything that he dealt with me with, I was losing a piece of myself over and over, and I was getting sucked away and sucked away and sucked away. But when I went to the deities finally for help, when I finally could, it was like, we can't help you right now. Now, I'm given to understand, and this could be wrong, and it really would be nice to have some insight with someone who actually knows, and not just pretending to know like some of the people I've encountered on the internet. Like that one that one I can pitch pull too. I got all the gods into the world tree. I'm gonna list them to you alphabetically. The guy was just trolling, but you know how stupid he looked? When I stopped, because Loki was like, look at the list. And I started looking, I was like, that is alphabetical.
How convenient alphabetical.
I had showed Loki that message from that kid telling me how he had solved all these problems with the gods all at once, and they had phoned each other, and there were gods that he had not asked to come that had come in, and it was this crash of all these gods, and Loki had me on the floor laughing. He was laughing so hard with our connection, I couldn't stop laughing at him. So this guy got laughed at by a god. So trolls, remember, when you troll someone like that, the gods are laughing at you.
Not with you.
Not with you. At you. Derisively. When Loki laughs at you, well, you've gone way beyond the level of stupid. Because Loki's the guy that gets an idea once in a while. And he thinks it's a good one.
Yeah, I've made him laugh. That's not the compliment you would think it is.
If he's laughed at me, he's made sure I haven't heard it. Well, except that one time. That one time that I made him laugh out loud. He actually threw his head back and guffawed. Like a genuine laugh. I was literally being siphoned with every dance, because when you're dancing, especially when you're doing it while also going through the astral, you're putting out a lot of energy, you're using a lot of your soul energy. I didn't know how to ground, and I didn't remember to pull from certain things and set up batteries yet. So I was literally being milked like a little astral cow.
Yeah. And then there was the main siphon, and then all the opportunist scavengers.
They didn't come till later.
Okay, later.
Oh no! When I was in the fairy ring, I was sole property of that dick. Let's give him a name.
Richard.
No. 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 I know too many Richards.
Well, people need to stop being Richards. Johnson. It's a different variation.
Fairy Hitler. Okay, the phone has spoken. Fairy Hitler. Fairy Hitler had his claim, and apparently there's a thing where they will plant basically a flag on you, which is why whenever you spirit spouse and the spirit spouses get really protective, and they're like little chihuahuas.
I was a poodle, I'll have you know.
All right. I think it's cute. All right. I think it's cute that he's actually willing to go, grr, mine. But other people don't find it cute. They think it's abusive. And it's like, he's not abusive about it.
Yeah, it's like when...
He's just...
Yeah.
It's just spirit spouses get territorial.
Yeah, and I can understand that it's like on the outside, it's like, yeah, it can be confusing and a bit blurry to tell the difference, but if you've actually experienced the one and then the other, you know. Because
Fairy Hitler.
Yeah.
Fairy Hitler was possessive, but in a bad way.
Unhealthy.
He was really unhealthy with it. He had her in a fairy hamster ball. She couldn't see the sun. And we're very tied to the sun. We are very tied to the sun. He cut us off from our source.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Loki's like, let's go get pancakes, butter, and sticks his head out the window with his tail.
Oh my God, yeah, like a little dog. Yeah, butter. Yeah.
Let's go adventure. Well, the other one is, it's like, no, you stay here, windowless room, no stimulation.
No friends,
no interaction.
And I'm going to keep her dancing because I'm eating you alive.
Yeah. Well, where Loki is like...
I want you to grow, says Loki. I want you to
it's like
do things.
Yeah, it's like, I love you. I'm going over here now. And occasionally then he'll follow up with text messages. I'm doing so and so. I'm here.
Yeah,
look at the pictures.
So I'm so glad you can go to Germany on your own. Fuck her. Leave me here stuck in my office.
But he did provide pictures.
Yes, he did give me pictures.
So it's
awesome.
So.
But the point is that a fairy ring is exactly that. You're actually trapped in a fairy ring of dancing, the endless dancing. You're caught up in it. And maybe after a while, I would have been like, oh my God, I can't stop, please help. But I was too distracted to get to there.
Mm-hmm.
I was very distracted by the drama and the story that I was being presented.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned some things about spouse abuse that I've been abused, and this man was over the top. Fairy Hitler was really, really bad. So, and I don't mean he might have beat her. I never saw it.
I don't think he had to beat her physically.
No. So that when I got loose and I finally had her free, then and only then were the deities willing to help. And people are like, well, it's because you had to ask 3 times. No, it's because there was a flag planted.
Yeah.
And there's this cosmic territory thing. They tend to be territorial. You must understand that when it comes to astral and supernatural beings, it's you can't expect them to be human. They're not. They will have some human aspects. They do have some things they mirror from us. They have things that have been put into them over time.
Mm-hmm. Now, they did do, or some of them were able to do a little bit. They had like maybe a little wiggle room, but not a lot.
Oh yeah, they could do little things.
Yeah, very, very little.
Like it was, I can do this small favor for you, but helping me out.
Yeah, there's a flag.
I think if I had asked, "Can you get me free of him?"
Mm-hmm.
They would have been able to help, but that isn't what I was asking for because I didn't really understand what was going on. You've got that, and the way I see it is. It would be like expecting your cat to not be a cat. We can live with cats and dogs, and responsible pet owners do not humanize their cats and dogs and know how to handle their cats and dogs. And
because at the end of the day,
yeah,
they're a cat and a dog.
Because they're a cat and a dog. Wolves have their own way of being, and when you're raising wolves, you've got to know some things. Because for as smart as a wolf is, they aren't quite on the sentient level to understand that, these humans interact differently. That's not how they see the world. The best example I've got, though, is horse handling.
Mm-hmm.
When you're handling horses, you've got to understand the horse. Or you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
My horse, Copper, was a good horse. And he picked up, I didn't know some things. The funniest moment is I was putting his saddle on him, and he decided he was going to start bucking and acting like, I'm freaking out. Mm-hmm. And I'd caught on, because his bucks, when he really was not freaking out, were gentle bucks. He was a good horse. So I just stood there and put my hands on my hip, and I waited for him to finish. And if you've never seen a horse blush, it's an amazing phenomenon as their ears swivel forward and they realize that they've been caught in their antics, and he never did that again. But it was because I understood him as a horse. You have to understand the gods. And that doesn't mean reverence and worship, but it does mean coming to their level. And I have witnessed Odin at least trying to come to mind. But Odin is of that bend. He loves to learn. Mm-hmm. He likes to connect. He is, he was the wanderer after all. So he's got that in him. Loki is Loki. Yeah.
And Thor is Thor.
Thor is awesome. Thor's about to come up in the story.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Not trying to trash talking him. Just it's like
no, there's nothing to trash talk. Although some things I figured out about Thor that I really need to write a paper about that.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing about the fairy dance is that he kept her in fetters. He completely fettered her. He fettered her vocally. He fettered her mind. He fettered her environment. And he fettered her sexually. And he used sex as a control tactic.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept her pregnant. There was no out, if you think about it. And whenever it started coming out to get her free, she didn't want to go because she had eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Fairy births are weird. You cannot unsee. Do not recommend. There were,
Yeah.
well, not eggs, cocoons, I guess. I don't. What do you call them whenever you put the larvae in a cocoon? And,
Pupa?
yeah, she had pupae. You know, and she was also being forced to watch them die.
Yeah.
Which is very traumatic. So he was also fettering her emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot think of a single thing that he had not touched except for me. And when it came to me, he really disliked it when I danced over. Oh, it annoyed him. But yet at the same time, did he put up warrants to stop me? Did he do anything to keep me from coming over? No, he let it happen. He just acted annoyed and hated me. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. After all, if I hadn't come over there, he wouldn't have had nothing to siphon. He had complete derisive contempt, Loki said just now. Oh, my spirit said just now. Oh, yes, I call my spirit Loki. I'm not saying he is the Loki. He can get miffed if he wants to. I am not saying he is the Loki. I am saying he was presented as Loki in a big fairy tale wedding situation.
You know, if you can name a dog Loki, you can name a spirit dog. I'm not calling you a dog.
No, don't get him on the poodle thing again. Oh, God. Oh, God, that was so hilarious, though. I nearly wrecked. I'm nearly wrecked. I'm driving along, and I forget how this conversation. Oh, I was considering framing the dogs like the gods like dogs.
Yeah.
Because of the way some people treat them and the way some people want to act, and some people let their dogs run their houses. Some people let their dogs run feral. Some people pamper their dogs. Mm-hmm. I was doing a mental comparison, and along comes this dude in the back of my head while I'm driving down the road, and all of a sudden I am filled with the scenario of a Broadway play, and the main character is a skinny little poodle, but a human. And for his costume, he was painted white and had a fuzzy pair of underoos.
Yeah.
And he's barking, and the other character's dogs, and one of them, honest to God, I'm not kidding, was Froya. I said Froya is a dog. I think she was a sulky, and they're barking at each other. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? And so then he's barking at me, but when he does that, it's like you're getting hit. Bah, bah, bark, 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 and I'm trying to drive. Oh, that was hilarious at the time. Don't tell me my spirit ain't a trickster spirit, if nothing else.
Yeah.
But if other people can go around, I have been spirit spoused to Loki because I lit a candle and we made an agreement.
Yeah, how come they never get challenged?
I know. Isn't that odd?
Not really, because...
But okay, yes, he gave me a wedding. Okay, yes,
that he didn't tell you about.
Tricked me into a goblet. I don't know if I told the story. I don't think I did. I'll have to tell the story in another podcast. Oh, the great cosmic wedding! After the Harry affair.
Bride wore a cashmere sweater or something. Actually, a cashmere sweater would have been preferable, but anyway.
Yes, I was in ripped jeans and a holy t-shirt! They could at least told me it wasn't something special. I would have put on nicer jeans or something.
But apparently that would have taken too long.
No, if I had been told, I might have said nope.
Yeah, that too. So,
because, after the wedding, what happened? I wanted a divorce right away.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was a business arrangement. I wanted a divorce right away, so then I had to put up with, how dare you turn down a god? You horrible creature! You're not reverent enough! You should be prostrating and thanking him for choosing you to be his bride. It's true! That woman in that shop was so nasty about it. And then it was, after I accept it, because he love-bombed me, then it was, well, how dare you want to be married to a god? How dare you put on airs? You're not reverent enough. You should be prostrating and not trying to be married to a god. Make up your fucking minds. I want to do over my wedding. Weddings are special. I know that people try to mark them down as like really bad, but they're special. They're a rite of passage. Mm-hmm. They're marking a new phase in your life. They weave your weird together. They bring families together. They used to be an affair because it might have been the only time you're going to see your kin that year. They're special. And they're supposed to be magical. Okay, yes, it was magical. But it was also in ripped jeans and a holy t-shirt. And my hair wasn't even brushed. I want a do-over. Anyway.
So yeah.
And Rand.
Fairy Hitler had very much.
Fairy Hitler didn't even give her a wedding.
No.
Well, I guess the dance in fairy tradition, that is the wedding. These gems were very bedazzling and very pretty. Especially that big red one. There was one gem that was huge and it was red. And I'm thinking that's that was the gem he used. Because it was literally hypnotizing. When the fairy comes up and dances, and I think I talked about this before, but since we're on the topic, when he dances up, he's smiling, he's dancing, and immediately you look at him, and we use the same hypnosis techniques when you know hypnotism in this world. There are ways you carry yourself, phrases you can use, tones you take. When you're trained, you can do it. The trick is if you don't want to be hypnotized and you know what's happening, you won't be. It's kind of neat. A little fail-safe the human mind's got. But I didn't know. All I know is I had been compelled to dance. So see, he had already cast the spell before he danced up. I was compelled to dance. I got up. I'm dancing. And then up, he dances to me. And it was like he came in and he's tapping in and he's dancing and his arms are out. You know, he's like, hey, I'm a goofball. I am Fairy Hitler. Look at me. Sexy, sexy. The minute our eyes locked is the minute there was no turning back. Like, immediately I was hypnotized. So I'm dancing with him, and I'm completely joyful that this fairy has come to me to dance. I didn't do what people say they would do. Well, there's a fairy dancing me. I'm sorry, but I would be freaked out. No, because you're in the spell. All you know is this entity is walking up dancing to you. In my case, it was an entity I had been kind of halfway touching for a little while. And it was somebody I associated with my past. So there was also that familiar feeling.
He made himself look poor Julu.
Poor Julu, my character Julu.
He did. Even in reality, when he doesn't physically exist, he still doesn't get a break.
No. And a key thing is he had dyed his hair red. He had made himself very, very brilliant. He's a brunette. Was a brunette. And yeah, there was no kickback. There was no, well, I would get out of there. Well, I would kill that fairy. Or any of the bravado statements that you make about how brave and tough and bullyish you are. There is none of that. You are in the spell. The fairy dances up to you. You're going to gleefully let him join the dance.
Senpai noticed me.
Not even that. So that's another important part about this. So when someone is being compelled to dance like that, if they reveal that they're dancing with fairies, they really need your help. If they say they don't want your help, then we've got a problem because you can't help them. It's an addiction after a fashion, but it's an addiction that's being imposed upon them. You need to find a way to break the spell. That is an actual fairy ring dance. At least that was my experience with it. Some of the lore does back up what I witnessed. It's just the lore kept pieces. Like the Scottish version where he goes away for a year and a day. In the Celtic versions, they would go away and then they come back and they couldn't stand on Earth because time would catch up with them. In a way, time was catching up to me because I was dying. So, yes, there's that as well. The problem with the Celtic lore is Christianity had colored so much of it that it's really hard to dig out the actual original lore out of those particular stories.
Because, they're just stories that's like, they don't have any factual, useful information in there that's necessary for survival.
Cultural information. The thing is about that cultural information includes how mankind would deal with the arcane, divine, and supernatural. It's how they would deal with the other world. There's a woman on YouTube, and I can't remember her channel off the bat because I lost it, but she actually has an entire, at least one episode, if not a couple, talking about the warnings of dealing with the fairies. That our media in America, at least, if not in other places, has put them out to be oh so friendly and oh so sweet. Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell was not friendly.
No, she was not friendly. Fairies hate us. As someone who had ties to the garden layer, I'm telling you, there's a little bit of animosity. The humans I saw over there were very much kept oppressed. Very poor. Mm-hmm. Very reverent to the fairies. There's definitely a hierarchy there that I witnessed. I was surprised to see humans there at all, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But they were there. Always in brown. They never wore any other color. There's definitely a pecking order, shall we say. But they treated me fair whenever I got to them.
Yeah, the otherworldly bride motif in British and Norse folklore. This talks mostly about Salki's, an otherworldly woman getting.
Oh, the fairy bride.
Yeah, getting entangled with a more mortal man, either because there was a genuine attraction, or he tricked her, stole her skin or something. But
that's a worldwide motive. There's the Silkies, where you would steal the Silkies seal skin so that she couldn't change back, and then he would have his wife for a while, and then she would find her skin and leave her children behind to go back to the ocean. There's the mermaids.
Their stories typically involve a man charming or tricking the female away from her, more often than not, aquatic home, leading to marriage and children, yet a broken taboo or mistreatment forces her to return to the sea, symbolizing the deeper themes of desire, loss, and the complexities of human relationships.
You need to give your source.
This is Dead But Dreaming.
Well, that's a blog post. From what I have read over the years, it's a worldwide phenomenon. That's what I was saying. You had the Silkies, but you also had it in China. You had the swans. There's one or two left kind of in Native American tradition, but all of that's been so mangled that it's dicey when it comes to those particular myths. So yeah, it is a worldwide phenomenon, the tale of a woman from the other side being brought over here to become a bride. But in her case, she stays, and she might be a captive, but she will almost always find a way home and get away. Sometimes it's because she wants to be here, but then the husband turns to be a jerk or makes a mistake.
Or neglects her.
Yeah, because, which is a good lesson on why you should never stop wooing even after you've had the wedding.
Yeah, it takes for granted that she's always going to be there until she's not.
Until she's not. When I finally got through with everything, the Rumpelstiltskin, got away from the goblins, everything. I had been chewed up so much by all these predators that I didn't even know existed in some cases. Because I thought goblins were a Hollywood thing.
Yeah.
I thought kobolds were the way D&D had phrased them. I didn't know they were astral spiders. It wasn't until I was studying some Anglo-Saxon that I discovered that, and it was like shock. I was shocked that the monsters I had dealt with finally at the end were goblins. Kobolds. Addercops is what I ended up calling them for a little while, but I really do prefer the term goblin. It's what they are. They're goblins. There was nothing left. I had got away like a fraction before soul death. I was burnt out husk. I was level 0. I was that person, and I can even remember this in the very beginning. Do you remember me ranting that I would be furious if they did the whole when you're done with the journey you get to forget?
Yeah, the Escaflowne, Sailor Moon trope.
Or you leave out of the wardrobe and you're just yourself again, and you had this grand adventure, but you can't do the cool things anymore. Oh, it's murder. It is painful.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so miserable. Because I was knocked to a level that I had never been my entire life. This is what it was like for normal people. My God, what a horrible existence. I was down to lighting candles for candle work and praying. Which, for some of you, that's awesome. It's level 0. Actually, that's level negative 10. Like Kung Fu Panda level 0. Fuck! Oh, I still cringe at how horrible chewed up I was. And you weren't doing so good either.
Now, I'm agreeing. It's like, no, I wasn't doing.
She was like, I can't see anymore.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, yeah, the high is leaving me, and this sobriety sucks.
Exactly. Sobriety sucks.
Yeah, the high leaves you, and it's like, yeah, and then you're sober enough, and it's like, oh, yes, consequences. Stuff that you weren't paying attention and that you were ignoring because you were high off your rocker and in this epic drama and everything. And then it's, bills.
Yeah, bills. Oh, yeah, almost lost everything through that mess. Both of us. House payments got behind. Gosh,
Yeah, I lost pretty much all but 3 of my chickens.
Because you couldn't focus enough to do what needed to be done to protect them.
Yeah.
Being caught up in this kind of scenario ain't no joke.
No.
It ain't no joke, and it looks great in a movie when they translate it, and you've got this hero's journey, and it is pretty epic now that it's over. But in the meantime, it's no joke, and we glamorize it. It's like the reason why it's an adventure is not just because you're seeing new things, but because life sucks. Life sucks. You go to The Hobbit. Hobbit's a really good example. You go to The Hobbit. He starts off, he's got, he forgot his pipe, I think it was. But he's on this journey, and they take this walk, and it's all pretty and green, and la la la, we're just picnicking. And then the shit starts. And then the trolls, he gets put in the cavern with Golem, and then, has to face the great worm. It was trouble after trouble after trouble after trouble, and that is what made it a grand adventure, was him having to surmount each of these troubles. Well, that's the hero's journey. Sucks. 0 stars. Do not recommend.
They're exhausting because it doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't. Oh, God.
And you think it does, and you think you got to pause or stop, and it's like, no, it's just coming at you at a different angle. And you think you know all the angles, and that...
no, they'll find one.
You're prepared, and it's, no, you can't.
They don't care about your life.
No.
Oh, dealing with the gods is supposed to be harsh. They don't care about your life. They aren't worried about you as a person. You are a tool to them, but only because they're hungry, these creatures.
Mm-hmm.
There is no, can you please send me money? They don't even want to understand it because they don't need to.
No.
So I'm at level 0, and I can't remember how I found out that it was a soul retrieval situation, that I had basically had my soul picked clean. I do know that I had built the Vey at that time, and I went out after trying to figure things out, and I went out to the Vey, and I had studied some runes as per Odin's recommendation. And so I did a rune finger galder. You go out there, you do your fire, you do your thing, you sit down, you do the finger galder, and you ask, show me what I need to see. And I was shown that the reason why I couldn't do a damn thing anymore was not because my soul was resting, because there was no soul left to rest, but because I was literally a burnt out, empty husk inside. All that was left of me was my skin. Now, but this is important for the fire. This is important for transformation. Yes and no. It's one thing that you're being worked on and transformed and shaped and built up. It's another thing when you've just been chewed up and you're about to die. There's completely 2 different things.
Yeah, one, you're being forged into something greater than what you originally were, and the other, you get tossed into the scrap pile.
I was scrap pile.
Mm-hmm.
I was a hollowed log.
Yeah.
That's what I got shown. I was a burnt out, hollowed log, and it was not in a good way. When you burn out a log, when you're making canoe, there's a technique where you burn out the inside to make a canoe.
Mm-hmm.
You've made a canoe. The canoe can slide in the water. Canoe still has function, has power. Actually, it's been given a new power. I didn't even get to be that. I was a hollow log that if you squeezed would have crumbled and fallen. That's what I was shown. So then I had to do some research on the matter because I was still where no one was talking to me. So I had to trust the internet and AI to tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good idea, by the way. They are programmed to lie to you, but I had to do something.
Yeah.
And what I figured out was that I would call to the actual gods that I had dealt with and ask them for a soul retrieval. Turns out that Freya, and Odin both, and Loki too, yes, that's actually their thing because they're magicians. And that's a shaman thing. So I set it up and I sat and chose my allies very carefully because I knew that Fairy Hitler had a very large chunk of me.
Mm.
He was not going to let go. I don't know what he wanted with it. I really don't understand that. If I understood more about his motives, I would be like, oh, how nice. So I go and I light my candle and I go through this big long ritual, and I had little goblets on the ground with a hill in front of them. That's very important, with a hill in front of them. And I called upon Freya, Loki, and Thor. Even though Loki and I were tied, I immediately phrased, like, this is business. And I had to state my case. Because I had not been nice to Thor while I was under that glamour. This is what I mean by Thor is a great guy. He was able to look over that and understand. And, oh, well, you didn't really touch the gods. Well, let me tell my story, and you can decide for yourself. I go through the thing. I call them up. I knew something was there, but I couldn't tell anymore. And so I just stated my case. I explained that Fairy Hitler had taken my pieces, and then I explained how he got in. I said he used my loneliness. He used my frustration. I now know that one reason why you had been done the way you did is because it removed you from play. You would have been my rock, but you became a liability instead, and that was on purpose. They used you.
Like a goddamn condom.
Like a condom. Not that she wasn't tasty, too. I don't know why such an elaborate operation, to be honest, for one little person, because let's face it, I'm a fat, over 50 lady. I mean, come on. I explained about that, and I said, I need my pieces back, and Fairy Hitler has them, and can I please request defense and retrieval? They did more than that. Now, Fairy Hitler was a cicada type. I have mentioned that before. Cicada, for those of you who can't speak Southern. So he was a cicada type, which means that his wings were like a cicada's wings, and he would use the sounds. Oh, my God. I'm petting myself. Give me a minute. It's getting hot here. And he was red and black. You do your plea, and then you go off to the side to do your contemplation. So I'm in the contemplation waiting for something, anything. I didn't know what, because I'm level 0. And I had never really done a spell on that level before in my life. Freya's glass tipped over. That was the moment. You could feel the power break, too. Her glass tipped over. It tipped uphill. She accepted the offering. And then I watched as a red and black cicada came up out of nowhere and was dancing around the flame. I had a little itty-bitty jar torch fire, and it kept trying to get away, and it would get thrown back, and it would try to get away, and it would get thrown back. And I basically watched Thor and Loki in real time beat the fuck out of this fairy. But it was being shown to me through mundane means. So there's some pushback against taking signs and portents. Oh, I saw a raven. That must be Odin. Quick, go catch the raven. No. This was an actual sign and portent. This was what you're looking for when you're level 0. Because it was being shown to me almost literally what was happening. They went over there and they kicked some fucking ass. And you could tell, too. It was very fiery. Sparks. The thing flying, finally on the ground. Still couldn't. It was epic. This poor little battle between the cicada and my flame. And I knew that what I was seeing was probably maybe Thor beating the shit out of it, throwing it at Loki, and Loki going, fire, fire. So the poor cicada's getting put back like a beach ball. And I was like, well, all right then. And then the next day, it took me a few hours to realize, but I was dancing in my head again. And only this time, instead of being split into 2 people, I was one person. That piece had been brought back and put back into me and put back in place and put down the way it's supposed to be. Hooray, story's over. No, not really. Because then later, with the Moldy Ham Sandwich, as I am progressing and learning how to do stuff, I start doing my own soul retrievals, but this time on a not hijacked kind of way. And there's some stories behind that. A while back, I actually talked about how I was possibly fooled by an entity pretending to be Odin that took my soul back again, and I was really distraught. Turns out that really was Odin. He returned them to me. He had them stacked next to his left side, and they looked like little body bags with radioactive symbols on them. So in that way, he taught me that you're supposed to clean the pieces before you take them back in. I was eating dirty soul pieces.
Yeah.
And I yell at you about not washing your hands. I'm going around eating all these dirty radioactive soul pieces. Filthy dirty. So I do have to retract that statement from I don't know how many episodes ago. That was a real event, and it was kind of him to call me to do this thing. Mm-hmm. And then, here's your pieces. Here's why I took your pieces.
Wash.
Now, fix it. Wash your food, little otter. Wash your food. So I'm going through, and I am doing my own soul retrievals, and I decided I would be brave and go back to the garden lair. And sneak around under Fairy Hitler's nose to see if I could find some pieces of myself there, because I'm wanting to get back together. But I'm blind, so I'm having to put out tendrils and walk around like a sea anemone, touching everything with my tendrils. It's like echolocation, but with tendrils. I'm in the palace. I know I'm back home, basically, in my house, and I'm feeling around, and I come across, it's a cradle. It's an old-fashioned medieval wooden cradle, covered in vines. It had been so long since I'd been there. And inside the cradle was a pupae. But it wasn't one of her pupae. It was me, and I knew it was me. So I'm like starting to free it, but I'm also feeling around with the other hundreds of tendrils, you know. And then I'm like, that's a foot. And I start filling up that those are knees. This person's not moving. They're letting me do this. Okay, that's suspicious. I'm going up. I go up past the clothing. I go up past the clavicles. And, oh, those are dead people eye holes. Okay, we are withdrawing now. We're just going to take this pupae and leave the massacre scene. He died standing next to his prize, defending it. And Thor didn't care.
Yeah, so she barely survived the encounter, but he definitely
did not survive. Fairy Hitler is truly dead, everybody. A friend of mine said, yes, but the bugs, they leave shells. No, this was a corpse. It had been standing there a long time, too. It was a dried corpse.
Yeah, shells, when they are shed, they are hollow.
No, this was bone.
That, from her description, it was not hollow.
It was not, well, it was hollow, but not like that.
Well, it was dried hollow. It was hollow because it was just that dry, but it's like, yeah, tell us about the eye sock.
The what?
About the dry, poking into the dry.
No, I don't want to go into that again. Oh my God, if you stick your tendrils into this hole, it's like, those are eye holes. This is a skull. I'm leaving now. And so then I took my piece back, and that was all fun and fine and well and good. That was before Odin took the pieces from me and cleaned them. So it was probably incredibly radioactive, incredibly booby-trapped, incredibly, it was just a mess. Mm-hmm. And then Loki, I don't remember when, maybe a week or two later, smugly talked about how, yeah, we got him good. Very proud of the fact that they had defeated the evil Fairy Hitler. For those people that want to compare Loki to Hitler. No, he killed Fairy Hitler. He and Thor together killed Fairy Hitler. So Thor is definitely on my good list for being willing to do that, which is why I wrote the song I did, and it took me a while to write it. And even though it is my tune and my words, but I have it in Suno so that I can learn it, if that makes sense, because I learn by ear. I will put it at the end of this podcast. I did not write this song, I did. So if you're trapped by Fairy Hitler, Fairy Stalin, Fairy Mussolini, yes, thank you, Fairy Mussolini, anybody else? Fairy Castro, call the Fairy Castro Busters. They will castrate Fairy Castro for you. But be sure and give them good libation, or you're gonna get yelled at for giving them 2% milk.
Yes. Like, this is 2%!
This is no better than white water! If you want to know what I'm talking about, I do put in prose posts on the blog associated with this podcast. There's a lot more on the blog than there is in the podcast in some cases, so.
In conclusion,
there's no conclusion.
It's still on.
It's going to be ongoing for the rest of my life, but at least it's normal. But that was fucking epic. Okay, I have got to see a lot of things through this. I'm going to have to tell the tale of how Bone Wings got reinforcements and attacked on that Saturday. Mm-hmm. Because the things I saw wide awake, the things I saw. It was a slice of history. It was really freaking epic. But in this case, though, wow, I got to see Loki and Thor fighting side by side against... He had to have been a formidable opponent, because even though they were just having fun. I just bounce this guy around a little bit. Here's a wedgie!
Not quite to the level of fuck those thorns, but it's like, hey...
Fuck those thorns.
But it's like, hey, Thor, you want to play ball? With your hammer?
I would love to play ball with my hammer.
With someone's skull? Yes. There'll be drinks.
Yes, because she attacked my hall.
Because of
she went nuts, and I wanted to take it out on someone, and I can't because she's married to you, so therefore I'll take it out on the...
Because he's the one. He's the one that planted the flag. He's the one that caused all the problems.
Yeah, he's the one that started the mess. And she was content writing her comics. She was so happy. She had accepted that she didn't have magic. She had accepted that her dad was the powerful one and that it was going to skip a generation. She had accepted it all. And she was telling her stories and moving on. But no, Fairy Hitler had to come poke the beehive.
Yeah, we were very caught up in the progress that Heavenly Bride...
All of it.
That Heavenly Bride had been making, and Kashik. It was like, this is awesome, and it's like, oh, there's these songs, and it's like, oh, this is awesome, and then there's a dragon, and then there's a fairy, and then there's an angel, and then there's spiders.
Oh, so many. That weren't looking like spiders because they were clever and they glamoured. You may not recall, but I was actually warned it was coming. On the forum, and I'm a member of the Become a Living God forum.
I think you mentioned vaguely that it was...
Yes.
Even with the warning, it's like, hey, heads up, something was coming, and it's like, you don't expect the Spanish Inquisition?
No, you don't. She tried to get me to look into shamanism. She tried to get me to read up and study, and I did try. But I think the hijacking was beginning that far back because was there time?
No.
Was there ability to focus? Was there much of anything? No, I was too busy trying to survive.
Yeah.
I didn't have any free time. I would go to the forum and talk, and then I would work, and then I'd go to bed, and that was my life. But I think even if I had read all the books in the world, like I have The Way of the Shaman, and I have... let's go through the books I have here.
Okay. Witches, druids, and sin eaters.
Just shaman stuff. Just stick to the shaman stuff. There's that Celtic shaman book.
Advanced Celtic shamanism.
Yes, and then I have The Way of the Shaman, which I don't know where I've stuck it. Oh, I think it's at the bottom of my laundry pile, so do be careful.
Sorceress.
Trance by Paxson. Paxson on the right-hand column. Yes, I have that many books. They're in columns. I have like several columns.
Oh, Praxton, the possession, depossession, and divine relationships.
There's also another one about Odin.
Odin?
Yes, there's that one, which I got recently. I have books, and I try to read them, and many of my books are untouched. And I'm reading this stuff, and the stuff is amazing after the fact. I don't think, considering the way that you get entrapped in the fairy dance, that I could have been prepared. I don't think anything could have prepared me.
It's like spending however many years studying to be a doctor, and you're thrown into your first surgery. First solo surgery.
Which is why they have you view and...
Yeah.
And they go through all these steps. Well, I didn't get to have that.
Yeah.
I knew all these myths, all these fairy tales, but I was so caught up in the spell that I couldn't look at them. I couldn't look at the fact that I had studied the alien love bite and UFO lore on top of it all until after the spell was broken, where I had my head back. Nothing could have prepared me. Although knowing this stuff in advance is what saved me, I still had to have the spell broken in order to be saved, which means that if the spell had been broken sooner, I might not have ended up a dried out husk. I'm actually supposed to be further along in my journey than I am now. That's how far back I was held by people's gatekeeping and disbelief. I think that's the part that really, and I'll say it a lot in this podcast, the part that really astounds me the most is how you can go and prostrate yourself to these idols and claim to believe in the gods that they represent, but then somebody's touched and you can't believe it.
Yeah.
Either you believe in magic or you don't. Either the supernatural is real to you or it's not.
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of people out there with psychosis, but this also has left me wondering if that man babbling on the street corner isn't babbling because he's crazy, but because he just has that many goblins.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be, a combination.
Oh, it's almost always a combination.
So it's like, yeah, even though you have all the stuff and everything, they like keep you so busy and so
that keeps you under
distracted
that
and under a spell that it keeps you from applying the
critical thinking.
Yeah, the critical
You're stoned
thinking.
the whole time. You're stoned out of your gourd.
Yeah, and even when you think, and it's very important when you think it's like, I have one up on them, I actually know they are glamoring the shit out of you. Look.
And you think you've got it because you're in a fairy tale dream.
Yeah, and you think it's working, and then you realize, wait a minute, those are wearing cowboy hats.
That's what the goblins, the fairy tactics were so different from the goblins.
This is true.
Two different tactics entirely. And we're kind of talking about the fairy tactics.
Okay.
But to segue into how nobody would believe the crazy wackadoo things that I had to say.
Yeah, even though they claimed that they were in the business of dealing with crazy wackadoo things.
With the way that I was coming forward wackadoo, I was looking for shamanic training, and I do have a teacher that I auditioned for if I can just raise the money. It's small pennies to a lot of people, but to me, $300 is more money than I sometimes see in a month. I personally, not counting my husband's money. Mm-hmm. So I'm struggling because the class is only offered once a year to get this money together. But this means that when I was looking around for some stuff, I came across, and I'm going to plug this guy because he's legit. Even though if you're a skeptic and you look at his website, you're like, eh. But I gave him a chance because I was desperate. Because I kept getting attacked by bone wings. So I contacted this man, Dragon Shaman. And I will be putting the link to his website in the podcast description. Turns out to be incredibly legit. Knows what he's doing. Actually made some progress with part of my current situation. But the reason why I gave him a chance is because I overlooked that he has a quote-unquote wackadoo way of viewing the world. Mm-hmm. This was different than the kid who came to me claiming to also be a putch puller and gave me that alphabetical list of every god that he could find. He must have used Excel to build it.
Yeah, after a while, you can tell. Now, things can still get by you from time.
Some people, yeah.
Because, it's a continuing arms race, but it's like, you either look this way because you're actually legit, or you're not legit. Legit and not legit, very fine line.
Yeah.
And some of the people that look most legit aren't even close.
The thing is, though, the supernatural role, the astral realm, like, girl, stay out of the astral. Staying out of the astral. That's not helping someone. No. Stop breathing. Stop breathing. You'll get better.
I could give a whole speech about the horrors about oxygen and why I don't believe in it.
I don't believe in gravity.
Yeah.
The thing about the supernatural in the astral realm is that it looks weird over there. Those psychedelic movies, a lot of really psychedelic imagery from the 70s you see where the flowers spitting out stuff, that's all astral imagery. It can really look that weird. So when you're trying to describe it on the physical plane, which is completely built differently, it's going to sound crazy. But there's sometimes no better way to describe what's going on. And in the past, people have humanized their experiences when they describe it. But I feel that takes away from the experience. Now, I was on a journey last night, and my darling was with me, and we're going up a stairway to heaven. I was trying to get to someone to ask a question, so, in some traditions you go up. So we're going up the stairs, and he's ahead of me by a few lengths, and I'm seeing his little skinny form. He was in poodle form, by the way. And then there's this giant, weird, pumpkin gourd, squishy monster with a single eye, and it's just sitting there lumping. It's just lumping and murring. And I'm looking at it, and I'm going up the stairs, and I'm looking at it, and it looks at me. And then it opened its mouth. And all you could see in that moment was its mouth. Perfect teeth. Big old tongue. It was going to eat us. That's okay. Loki just kind of side smacked it. Smack! It was taken care of. He didn't even look. He was just pat like you're doing a fly. Let's go on. Okay. Yes, sir. I'm coming. But it was really, really surrealistic what I saw, even though it happened on the astral plane.
Yeah. Or like I was explaining, it's like something was giving me an image of his my mother, and it was this cathedral that was alive.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's his mother.
Yeah. His mother is a building. A living cathedral. It's like, okay.
She's a brick house.
Very beautiful.
Yes,
very beautiful building, though. It's like, she was so huge. I actually had to be pretty far away to actually see her. So weird shit happens. You see weird shit and you go, what the fuck? Did I actually see this? Did I actually experience this? You don't know, so this either happened or didn't happen, and then you just happen to read something or hear something or come across something that it's like, that was real?
Yeah. Then you find it in the lore. Oh my God, that?
It's like, holy shit!
Whoa, I saw that just last week.
How did that happen? How did the Spanish Inquisition know?
It was the French Inquisition, don't you know? So putting down somebody for their wackadoo point of view and everything isn't exactly the most best approach. All that does is limit you.
Yeah.
I understand that there's some people out there that have genuinely got problems. They are out there. They are, but...
Yeah, and we have had to deal with quite a few of them.
But the astral's always going to come out weird when you tell the truth about what you saw. I was going to go see an entity, and to my surprise, I landed in this city. And it was almost Middle Eastern, but more of a prehistoric style, and kind of like what you would have dug up at a dig. I went to the city square, there's a fountain, and there's this creature crossing it, just minding its own business, and it's just a human head, no hair, a human head, dark gray skin, and big old tree trunk legs coming out from the head. No neck, no torso, no arms, just head, legs, and feet. And it's just walking along, minds its own business, probably out shopping. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching this going, really surreal. And I keep getting nagged that I should look at Japanese lore to find that creature. I can say that the Dragon Shaman is legit, even though he comes off as a little not. I can't really quote the fees for his services here, but it will be all on his website. And with that, I think it's a good place to wrap up this particular episode. I hope you enjoyed hearing the end, the moldy post-mortem, what do they call it, an epilogue? The epilogue.
Of the moldy sandwich.
Of the ham sandwich.
That has mold.
I was so tempted to get you to tell the story of fuck those thorns. But maybe next time.
Next time,
sometime next time, maybe not the next time. We need to talk about what happens when people attack Loki.
The man is like, a serial killer tiger would be safer. Of which there have been at least 2 in existence.
All right, we'll tell it. This is the finale story of this episode.
Okay.
So, Bone Wings and his cult kept attacking me. This is way back when they had my eyes bound in thorns, and I kept waking up in jars and having to fight off all these bindings. And I honestly think that Odin was carrying me through with his power for some of it. And I kept fighting and kept ending up in thorns, and then they threw me in thorns, and then I don't remember how we discovered they had thrown the thorns at where Loki was lurking in our house.
You sent me to go find him, to look for him.
That's right, because I was so blocked off and unable to communicate out that I was having to send her on errands as a messenger.
Yeah, and I was, going along, and I was like, there's thorns, Disney Sleeping Beauty grade thorns
all around our house,
all
on
around,
the astral
all around
plane.
the house. And of course, she's like, just shrink down small enough to, and just
go through them. I mean, come on, it's the astral.
Through them and just don't touch them. It's like, it's like, you're not gonna drown. Just keep going.
Did you drown? But did you die?
No, I just brought something home with me.
But anyway, that's a different story.
But anyway, so it's like, okay. So it's like, oh, okay. I got small, went through the thorns, went up to the window that, was access to the rafters because I couldn't find the door. That's where I tended to enter anyway. So I am in the house and in the rafters, and I am looking down. And there's this stone floor, and there's this man.
What did the stone floor look like?
It was like gray stone, cobblestone.
He didn't even bother with the sun. Oh, I'm hurt.
Pacing back and forth.
Describe the man. What did he look like? What was he dressed in?
Well, his hair was sticking up.
Oh, my.
And it was the reddish brown red cloak. I was only seeing his back. He was pacing. He had stopped. His hands were, on his hips. Very angry. He paused. He knew I was there. And I was also talking to her, and it's like, oh yeah, he's putting out serial killer tiger vibes. He is not happy. He is quite angry, and it's like, he knows I'm here. He stopped. And then his head whipped around, and it's like, shoo, these huge-ass yellow eyes that would kill. I died 10 times that day. It's like, he was not fucking around, and it's like, who the fuck are you? And it's like, you are dead. I just want to kill something. I am so mad. And of course, he's doing this at me, and I'm, of course, up in the rafters in the corner. I go, sup? It's your favorite person. Favorite person in the entire world. No, I think I'm going to stay here. I'm not coming down. Yes, I am absolutely terrified. I think I'm justified in it. So it's like, yeah, I'm here. I am here with a message. I am not coming down. No offense to you. I just don't want to die. And it's like, are you sneaking? And it's like, of all people, I think that I could sneak past. You are not the one I am sneaking by. It's, the fuckers that did the thorns. It's like, fucker, you knew the second, I came within so many feet of your house that I was there. I'm not dumb. Yeah, so that happened, and then shenanigans go, and then...
You told him the message. You did tell him the message, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, I passed on my message, and so thus ends my part, and I was handing it over to you. And
yes.
So, and then in continuation, later...
I'm like, okay, I had one move. I had enough power for one move, and I was going to need help. And I decided that I was going to go protect Loki. But, part of this is also them watching me grow. Because, let's face it, he didn't need it. He was putting up with a lot of crap from these guys who had decided that we needed to be broken apart. They were trying to break us apart. Mm-hmm. And clearly had decided he wasn't the real thing. Or at least clearly hadn't decided, even if he wasn't the real thing, clearly hadn't taken a look at their opponent to see if he was even dangerous. Because... there's more out there than the Loki, okay? He could have been anybody, but he still outpowered them. It doesn't matter who he is. He outpowered them.
All things considered, he was very...
He was putting up with a lot while his ward, me, was under attack and having to let me work through it because there's rules and laws. But they went too far because they went after our home. His house, rather. Mm-hmm. Odin actually helped me get to him. My friend Leslie Fish passed away most recently, and when I told her this part, she said that I had a My Little Pony ride. I'm not very good at riding horses. I haven't had much experience with it. I'd probably be better if I had come from that kind of background. But I'm dancing. I'm going to dance up there, and I kept bumping into something, and I finally stop, and I look, and it's this lady wearing swan feathers holding the bridle to a little pony. I'm here to take you to him. Oh, it's a Valkyrie. Okay. And that's a Valkyrie pony. So I get on the horse with a pony, and I zipped over to the edge of where the thorns were. She said that Odin gave me a My Little Pony ride. And I'm standing there and I'm looking, and there are no thorns like I was expecting. I actually questioned you in my head because I'm looking at our house in the middle of a lava burnt out volcanic plain. There were still lava rivulets, and it was like Muspel. So I walk up into the house, and I go in, and the house is all charred and smoky inside, and he's there. The kids are there, and you know, there's things there, and I'm looking around. So then I did my part, which is I set a ward, which is probably weak compared to what he could do, but I was learning. But what I also did is I went to the part where I had been murdered in the past, and I pulled the pitch from it, and he walked outside for that. And so I pulled that, and I cleansed that, and the little girl was there, and I taught her a little bit about pitch pulling, and he said, no, let your mother do her work, or whatever he said. The kids are in question right now, that's why I keep hedging around them, because I don't know if they were goblins or what was going on with that. So, you know, because there was a whole lot of stuff like that going on with the goblins. They would make you think some crazy things. I go to the pitch pulling, and then I realize he's not there, and he's supposed to help me with this, so I go out, and I'm chiding him, you know, we're supposed to work together on that. Then I stop, and I'm inside the door, and I'm looking at the lava plane again, trying to make sense of what I'm seeing, and I hear, I took care of thorns. I took care of thorns, babe! I took care of those thorns. And I had to laugh. I'm like in the middle of this drama, I'm laughing. And I'm so proud, you know, you're proud.
So damn proud.
Oh my God, I'm like, we're keeping the lava plane. Other people can have grass. This is the best lawn I've ever had in any life, you know.
So yeah, she finally gets to the point where she's able to call me, and I was like, holy shit, the thorns were real? Keyword were.
He took care of the thorns,
like,
yo.
It's like, holy shit, I was not expecting that.
And I'm standing outside with him, and he's just standing there looking, because he gets on guard mode, and he gets all puffy chested. He looks out, he's being strong, and he's looking, and I noticed that he's wearing like a face guard. And I'm like, he had even put on armor for this. He had enough. It was the first time I'd seen him in any sort of armor like that, and he was ready to kick some ass. He didn't know, which I understand, and when you're on your shamanic awakening journey and you're having to deal with stuff and learn how to deal with stuff, you'll understand too that it's part of your growth, but they did overstep their bounds. Like, a whole lot of attacks on me, they were putting up with it. They were helping me fight. They were helping me push back. I hadn't gotten angry enough to the point to fight back. The one kid that lives local that was attacking me when I fought back, you know, I haven't had a peep from him since.
Yeah.
Not a sense. I sewed those lips, those eyes, and his ears with weird magic. I actually used the fabric of fate to sew that. But I had help before you go, oh my God, she thinks she's so powerful. I had help.
Yeah.
I mean, I am suspecting that Odin was fueling me to keep me going. Mm-hmm. When you've got Odin at your back, just about everything is weak.
Yeah. And also, I like to be biased in the a bit biased in the axe guy direction when it comes to this. It's like I still think of the two, he was a bit smarter, but then it wouldn't really be hard to be smart. That's probably
the difference between the kid that was attacking me here with the axe lad versus Bonewings is Bonewings is a narcissist. Mm-hmm. And he can't accept that maybe this entity that he couldn't believe was whatever was stronger. He couldn't accept it. After all, he had stolen divine crowns and had people at his back, and things have been quiet since the last events. But I will talk about those events on another podcast. I'm not promising for the next one, because I never know what I'm going to talk about next, even no matter what I promise to myself. In fact, that needs to be like how I sign off. And thank you, and good night, and I took care of the thorns. Fuck those thorns. And with that, I am signing off. Thank you very much for coming to listen to this episode of the River Shaman Ramblings podcast, and I hope that you will come lurking around again. Do check out my website, therivershaman.com. I do have a couple of articles. The website's just starting. I think it's a year old. It doesn't have a whole lot of articles there, but I do try to be brainy, because it is my belief that you should not let your religious and spiritual beliefs get in the way of being smart. Although I did finally cave and put up a recipe the other day, because eggnog and 2% milk. I really need to tell you the 2% milk story sometime, but actually no, I don't have to, because I have a blog post dedicated to it. All right, I'm signing off, everybody. Thank you for coming, and by the way, fuck those thorns.
there's a lesson I bring. I flew far to thunder this song. The winds chilled my nights and dust blocked my sight. My words are true and stand strong. Wave horses still thrive by the port riverside. You want folks forgetting my fame. Roots reach to the deep, the land though she sleeps, sighs dreaming and whispers my name. See these green hills, this water-washed mill. I stand stout for them with my hammer as protector of men. I stand and fight again to push back the march of your bloody banner. That hill held a troll I killed there in its hole. 'Twas here I and father broke bread. With brother and friend we walked to world's end, where foam steeds raced wide river head. That circle of trees was beloved by bees, where spirits sang praise as they gathered. Bound staves sprinkled red to fend off all dread, when we strapped said and paid for lost wages. See these green hills, this water-washed mill. I stand stout for them with my hammer as protector of men. I stand and fight again to push back the march of your bloody banner. Beware, bloody Harold, the legacy you lay. Pray your God will not reject your hand. For soul sacrificed or by greed you enticed, you the worm come to dwell in our land. This land, my home, where I set foot and roam, remembers farmland muddied with blood. My kin and I rise with my bride at my side, as the cunning weave tales from your flood. Beware, bloody king, is the warning I bring. I will shield this land from your pleasure. Open your eyes, let's give truth to your lies. I would ward what you give at your leisure. See these green hills, this water-washed mill. I stand stout for them with my hammer as protector of men. I stand and fight again to push back the march of your bloody